Hey, Megan Scully, and this is the Limerick Post Show, and an absolute, of course, warm welcome. Jared Harris, how are you getting on?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm so good. This is absolutely incredible. I know the people of Limerick are so excited. Richard Harris Archives and the collection being donated to UCC. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so this is a whole load of stuff that largely that he had at his house in the Bahamas. So when we cleared out the house there, when we sold the house, we sort of discovered this whole trove of stuff that personal memorabilia and photographs and posters, letters that he had written, letters that we'd written to him from school that he kept, unpublished manuscripts. I mean, there's a whole pile of stuff that I had no idea that he collected. I didn't know that he kept all our letters that we'd written him from school, you know. So, and we collected it all here, along with the stuff that he had in the Savoy Hotel. And it was basically in storage for the last 15 years, and I've been looking for a place for this to live, for somewhere for it to be a home for it.
It just shows as well, I guess, the importance of letter writing. Nowadays, I think phones and digital has really taken over. And obviously, it's been great. And here we are chatting together online from different countries. But I just think, there's magic when it comes to letter writing. As you said there, you found the letters that you probably, you didn't even think that he'd hold on to. And now you have this incredible collection of memories from your late father.
Yeah, the letters that he wrote to his parents when he was just starting out, when he was here in London. In fact, in one of them, he talks about his intention to ask my mother to marry him. Well, I'd never seen that before. I think the thing that's surprising about it is I didn't know he was this sentimental, and I don't mean that in a pejorative way. It's kind of wonderful that he kept it, but he didn't keep it in a way with an intention for it to be seen. He kept it for himself. There were mementos that he did not want to part with that were important to him.
Incredible. And of course, we have to mention, Limerick's The Hunt Museum, that collection is going to be available. And of course, Limerick and Richard, it goes hand in hand.
It was, we were been spending quite a lot of time trying to figure out where to go. There's several universities in the United States that specialize in collecting actors' memorabilia, but we wanted it to go to Ireland. We wanted it to go specifically to Munster, and we wanted that the first exhibition of it to be in Limerick. It was very important that that happened.
Limerick is such a proud place and such a special place. And, the statue is there as well in Bedford Row. And I find often when I bring people down to visit me in Limerick, I bring them round, you show them Richard Harris, and you show them the city that, that we all love so much now. Like, I'm not even originally from Limerick, and I have to say, it's just such a special and unique place.
Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely. It's very important to him. He kept Limerick and Ireland in his heart. And you can see that in the writings. In fact, humorously, we found a letter where it's to do with the Munster Cup, where he has he's praising one of the Limerick teams and having a little dig at one of the Cork teams. He carried the Ireland around with him proudly, and I think that's one of the things that I was aware of, but it's important that you can see in this archive is. One, just how important his Irishness was to him, but also how proudly he waved that flag throughout his career as he went around the world, So it was never, even though he may have travelled far, it was always close to his heart.
And I know as well, included in the collection, there's screen and stage performances like photos, including Camelot, the Field. We've got, of course, Professor Albus Dumbledore in the first two Harry Potters. All absolutely so iconic. What was it like then growing up with Richard Harris as your dad, and whereas we all loved and adored him on our screens?
Yeah, I get asked this a lot. Thing is, I don't know what it was like not to grow up with Richard Harris as your dad, so I can't compare it to anything. But he was, as a person and as a father, he was very loving, he was attentive, and none of us were in any doubt of the fact that he loved us. He wasn't present a lot because he was working and or we were off at boarding school. But when we were with him, we knew that we were his sole focus of attention. And there's a certain sort of anarchy to young children that irritates adults that he really enjoyed. And it's that sort of slight chaos that happens. And I mean, the thing that I remember, we've just gotten off a long flight, about 9-10 hour flight. We've arrived at the house in the Bahamas for the first time. And the house is full of tchotchkes that belong to the previous owner. And we're bored and we start kicking the football around. And one of the adults tells us to stop doing it, and which irritated my father. And we break something and we get told off for breaking it. And the person says to us, we could have got $50 for that. And my father says, there's another one over there just like it. I'll give you $100 if you break that one, $200 if you break it with a header.
Wow. And all such special memories, of course, that you have as well. And I have to say, I can't let you go without talking, of course, about the Richard Harris International Film Festival kicking off now. And, it's just every year it's just getting bigger and better. And I know that so many, I guess, creatives and people working in the industry, it's a huge moment for them as well to be involved in it.
Yeah, I mean, I have tremendous respect for what Zeb's trying to do there. It's a tough challenge, and I think one of the most important elements that they keep adding to it, which is great. But the new thing that they've brought on board, which is an ability to be able to support filmmakers in the projects that they're trying to develop and actively help them get things made. That's a unique aspect which not many festivals have. And all tips of the hat to him for pulling that off, because that's going to be tremendously helpful. And obviously it's exciting as well that what's happening over at Troy Studios. And I think with with support from the community and support from the city, that can be a sustainable industry that happens there in the same way that it's happened up north. It can happen in Limerick.
Absolutely. And it creates such a buzz and excitement around the place when you know that something big is going on in Troy Studios. You can just feel, and you just kind of notice that there's more people around, and you kind of might bump into some of the creatives that are working there on nights out in Limerick. So it's really great, because why I say to people, like, why Limerick is a city, it really is actually just like a small town. Everyone knows everyone, and everyone is really hugely supportive of each other.
Well, yeah, it is. Everyone knows what everyone's doing in Limerick. There are no secrets.
Well, that's a fact. That is absolutely a fact. Jared Harris, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you on the Limerick Post Show. And I do look forward to welcoming you back to Limerick again soon. And of course, we do look forward to seeing all that collection of your late father, the incredible Richard Harris, at the Hunt Museum in Limerick. I know that I'd say they'll be queuing up to get in to see everything and to get a glimpse of, I suppose, a lot of his private life as well as his professional life. So thank you so much.
I'll be at the head of that queue. I'll be first in
Lovely.
line.
We look forward to seeing you, Jared.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Garila Vagat.
God bless you. Thank you.